Welcome from the shores of Lake Ozette.
Yes.
Something about episode, honey. How does it go? Did we write it down? Welcome to another episode
of Driving to the Res at the shores.
Filmed at the shores of Lake Ozette.
Of the Ozette tribe.
Yeah, we're going to work on ours. We're obviously changing things up, right?
All the time.
Yes.
All the time.
All the time.
Yes. We're not afraid of change, are we, darling?
A little bit, yeah.
Yes.
Not afraid be the wrong word. It just disgruntles me.
Disgruntled of change?
It throws you off kilters.
Kilters?
I like a new routine.
You do not like a new routine. That's such a lie.
Yeah, the routine needs to be...
No, you do not change routines. You don't like changing anything.
No, I remember specifically not wanting to move from one place to another because I had my coffee station and how I make it all set up.
Yes.
So when I wake up in the morning, there's a step of things that I do that sort of evolved into they're
Perfect.
fine now.
Yes.
I can go make a coffee in the morning.
Yes.
And when we were getting ready to move, it was like, now what the heck am I going to do in the morning?
Exactly, yes.
It was
so
very,
you made
very
yourself a
disgruntled.
nice little coffee station here. It's very similar to the other one, actually.
In the same little tiny little space, even though it's a lot more room.
Yeah, we have a ton of room, but you have your toaster, your coffee maker, your kettle.
Everything all in one teensy spot.
And
the grinder.
all
and
in
the
that
thermos.
tiny little space that looks actually exactly like the other coffee station you had before.
So I see a pattern here.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not exactly happy with it.
Not yet?
No, I think we should
change it up a bit?
Change this routine.
A little bit?
I love changing my routine. That's I'm going to try an affirmation, see if it works.
Okay. What's your affirmation?
I'm going to put some new energy into my coffee station.
Coffee station, new energy. Funny you should talk about energy.
Oh, you're right. There's some newsletter this week's about energy.
Yes. It's called Charging Our Batteries.
It's related.
It is.
All right.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, I'm going to read a little bit of it, and then you can add more details. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm starting to remember. I'm remembering it. Okay.
Larry sent me a cute little video of a guy talking about what charges our batteries and what depletes them.
What charges our batteries and depletes them. Yeah.
Yes. It took me a few seconds to figure out he wasn't talking about the batteries we put in electronics.
I didn't.
Especially as he was talking about what gives and takes away electrons. For about, the first half, I didn't know what he was talking
about. About what do we need to charge our batteries for?
Yes.
Our batteries, don't you take them out of the box?
Yes.
Yeah, I was never even for the second thought he was talking about batteries. But that's one of the things that's important, is when we're talking with someone and sharing things, hey, what do you really mean?
Yes,
and
why
what
are
do
you
really hear? Why are you sharing this about batteries? Don't you have a battery charger? Is it for the car? What are we talking?
What kind of battery? Rechargeable batteries, obviously.
Human batteries.
I'm very literal most of the time, and as we're not usually labelled as batteries... That was a dog moving our camera.
Okay, sorry, guys. Oh, whatever. Just leave the dog alone.
Okay. I'm very literal most of the time, and as we were not usually labelled as batteries,
right,
I could not understand what the man was talking about at first. Talking about people.
Yep.
The video talks about what gives us people electrons and what takes electrons away. Larry's going to post a video link, or it's actually on the newsletter, so you can see what the man says about this. I'm not familiar with the man in the video. I don't know his name, and I cannot speak to his or her other teachings if he has any. I don't know. Well, his other teachings, I don't know if he has any. But this teaching I found to be excellent about batteries and charging and depleting your battery, so I thought it was really good. What gives us energy and what takes it away?
Right. And the words that he was using...
Mm-hmm. There goes the dog again.
The words he was using were interesting because it had batteries in it, right?
Yeah.
And we've heard the term charging our batteries before. Mm-hmm. And we know what batteries are. It's kind of like grounded it in a physical real instead of like the not physical woo kind of a thing. It just felt like it made it physically practical.
Yeah,
understandable from a physical level. I liked it for that reason. Jeez Louise.
Romeo.
think he's just trying us on now.
Yes, he's charging our batteries. He's a very chargeable boy.
Okay, let's try that.
Sorry about the noise. There. Is that
Clear
better?
now.
You're such a good puppy. He's a good dog. He's a good dog.
Yes.
Okay, yes, so...
And I like the way that it helped you visualize what's going on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was pretty handy.
Yeah. Usually in the woo-woo world that we live in and talk about things in, we talk about energy all the time, right? Mm-hmm. But here are some examples of electron flow and access. I made a little list. You like lists? It has 7 points to it. So we use words such as life force, prana, chi, and that's what I would call the electron themselves. Okay.
Electrons are chi, prana, life force. Okay. Yeah. Just another word.
From the concept of the video.
Got it.
Right? We're linking the video to these other
right.
things.
If he'd have said chi or prana, we probably would listen to it. I mean, not us, but people would listen to it and assign different thing to it. And when he says electron, it's just a physical elemental matter type item.
Theoretical matter.
It's a theoretical, no mass, infinite speed, can't tell where it is, matter that's
there.
Totally not imaginary.
Maybe not. They may or may not be there.
Totally
There's
not
no
a
proof. Nobody's seen one, but...
Right. Yes. They are in a cloud of probability, maybe.
Yes.
Got it.
So we call them electrons.
Electrons sounds more scientific.
It does, especially since not many people tell you that it's a theory and no actual physicality.
Don't go too far into that.
Okay.
Just call it energy. We're calling it electrons in the case of
the word energy, I believe, is connected to electron. But anyways. 2. Tai Chi, Qigong, Feng Shui, Yoga. The way some of these are taught really connect us with electrons in our environment and bodies, bringing them into a good and healthy flow. I remember growing up, I can't remember where did I learn it? Okay, so when I was 15 or 14 or something like that, I think I was 15, I joined a theatre group in Nottingham, England. And I saw the ad. Actually, I didn't see the ad. A friend of mine who was from Jamaica, he was an actor, a proper professional actor. And he always knew that I was interested in theatre. And I wanted to become an actress, right? At the time, we used to say actress, not actor for females. And he saw a notice in his neighborhood in the community center asking for actors and actresses for a new experimental theatre company. And he said, "Hey, Inelia, guess what? You should join this. Let's join together." And I said, "Yeah, that sounds fabulous." So we went and joined, and he lasted, I think, 2-3 weeks and left because he was a professional actor and these were a bunch of amateurs. And I stayed. And another little funny side story was that they didn't know I was a minor, and I was working with them for like a year or two before they found out.
That you were too young.
Yeah, I nearly got into big trouble with the authorities for child exploitation. Anyways, in this theatre company, one of the other founding members was a man who knew Tai Chi. And he suggested, and we all agreed, that before all of our rehearsals and performances behind stage, we would do the Tai Chi thing. So I learned Tai Chi from him. And it was, oh my God, it was the first time I was shown that. First time I'd seen it in my life. And it was a whole group of us doing it together. And I was blown away. It was like, what? It was amazing. I loved it. And I could see all the energies moving and being harvested and collected and thrown. And, oh my God. I thought it was the bee's knees. I really did. So that was my first look into it. And then my last, actually, because although I did take a couple of yoga classes as an adult as well, I do like all that stuff. I don't know why I don't do any more of it. But anyways, it's a flow. You touch into it, you know.
I remember having my first experience feeling it at the event that you were in 2011 or so. There's a whole room full of people raising energy or I don't remember what the function, how it was raising the energy of the space. But at some point in it, you reach up and you could touch above your head I could feel the energy up there. I physically could feel it. It was like running through like molasses or fluff, some kind of. It was just like there was something there that could touch.
Yeah, it's true.
It was really interesting. You know? And these Tai Chis and Qigongs and things like these are energy. These are energy works from another culture that have been doing it for
millions of years, maybe.
Long time, right?
At least.
So they've got.
But they do.
They got some history to them.
Also, with that group, also what he taught it was the energy ball. You know, you make an energy ball on your lap, and then you start throwing it from person to person, like if it was a real ball,
right?
And you throw it to some person, and eventually, when you receive the ball, you actually feel it.
Physically feel it.
Yeah, you can physically feel it. It's so cool.
I think we should try that at Sunday dinner.
Yes.
Okay.
And the other one that's named here, Romeo, stop moving the camera. Jeez, Louise, boy.
I don't know what his deal is.
He wants to go outside.
He is
All
outside.
right, we're going to just pause for you. It will be instant. We're going to let the dog out. And we're back.
11:11.
Ta-da!
Yes.
Anyways.
As you were saying.
As I was saying. So, yes. The other thing that is listed in this list is the feng shui.
Feng shui.
Yes, and I do have a history with feng shui that's a little bit more involved the Tai Chi or the energy balls and stuff like that. I really liked the feng shui thing, and I had a friend in 2006, around that time, for many years actually, that I was an expert and trained feng shui consultant, and she taught me a lot of stuff. But even before that, I remember in the year 2000 actually. Oh, it wasn't before, let me think. I started using feng shui methodologies in 1995.
My goodness.
Yes.
Early adopter.
Yes.
Well,
not really.
Speaking.
Not really.
It's quite
I'm
old
trying to think,
practice.
like, thousands of years old. So adopter maybe in Ireland, for sure. I lived in Ireland at the time, and I started studying, and I made my house. I wanted the energies to flow really well to help my children's health and everything else, and I did that. I used it then. And then when I sold the house, I used it to sell the house and to make it really balanced and beautiful for the person who was coming in. And so that I started studying it then, and I had lots of books, and I used to use the methodologies, and I always understood it like a flow and a movement of energy through the house. And that's how the books and everything that I read and I studied taught it, and it was about movement of energy, and you don't want it to stagnate. It's almost like a flow of water. You don't want it to stand still, so you want it to flow and everything. So, I mean, here we have used a little bit, pinchy-winchy a little bit, not very much, but generally speaking, a little bit of feng shui, not very much.
I think I caught 1 million pounds of fish with feng shui.
What's it, feng shui?
Through my the Qigong CD, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Qigong was feng shui.
Okay.
And the feng shui was supposed to be played in a room all by itself when you leave.
Sounds?
Yeah, but I didn't use it that way. But it was a feng shui CD that caught fish.
Yeah, feng shui is more like a physical thing, not so much sound.
Right.
I mean, you can use sounds for feng shui. You have bells and other things that you can use. But it's more like where you place things and how the energy flows within a building. And the corners of the building, where does that energy go? What does it do? And the energies around you, what are they doing to you in your house? Right? Mm-hmm. That type of stuff.
Yep.
So lots of interest in that. All sorts of things like that.
Grounding.
Okay. 3. Grounding.
Ocean, lakes, rivers, and waterfalls. Negative ions, which aren't bad. They're just negative charge.
Water bodies are a natural and instinctual magnet for us. They can refresh us and restock us with healthy doses of electrons. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that's a mighty convenient thing that it charges our bodies to go to the lake shore. Yeah, yesterday we did that on our drive, remember? Mm-hmm. We stopped at the beach and went and stuck our bare feet in the rocks and the stones and breathed in a bunch of negative ions off the ocean.
Mm-hmm. That was the day before yesterday.
Right. Who's counting? But it's the funny thing. It's like, so in this particular thing, this particular case, how many people do you think were driving past where we were driving? Like, there was lots.
Lots, yeah.
Not a million, but plenty.
No, it was plenty.
It was a highway.
Thousands.
It's a regular freeway. It's quite a lot of
I would say thousands that day.
And in the parking lot, we had maybe 10 cars or so. I saw like 5 people on the beach.
There wasn't 10 cars. It was more like
when we
5.
first pulled in, there was maybe 10.
Oh, yeah. When we came back, there was a lot less. Yeah, you're right.
Right. And they had, for the most part, it looked like out of town, out of state.
Yes.
And they were there on like a purposeful vacation type. Like,
yes.
Let's go check the Washington coast.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And we were on our way somewhere, and we live here, and we stopped there and went there, and it's like it's like having dogs that makes you stop and go to the beach. We used our dogs for half of our excuse to go take the dogs for a walk. Yeah, so we go to the beach and charge our batteries.
We do.
So it's a good idea to
get dogs.
Get yourself excuses to go charge your batteries in these places, right?
Good idea to get dogs.
Yeah, it's a good idea to get dogs. Anyway, I think the point
I was... It made a big difference.
Yeah, it made a big difference in how I felt, for sure.
Me too. Yeah. From being cooped up in the car for hours, right? And all the electronics that are in the car. You know, you have your Wi-Fi now in the car, and your cell phones, 2 cell phones, 3 iPads.
All the cell towers are driving by.
Yes, and the car has its own Wi-Fi system.
Talking to Chevy, make sure that everything's good.
Yeah, talking to Chevy all the time, sending messages to the internet. And
hey, those guys are going fast. Hey, they need to change their oil. You should tell them by an email. Yeah. Our Chevy calls us all the time.
All the time. So there was a lot of fields, like magnetic fields in our truck. And just to get out, put our toes in the sand. It was good. Yep, that's a good homework for this podcast. Go stick your toes in the sand. Yeah. What about the mud? Remember when you were a kid putting your toes in the mud was so cool? Oh, yes. That was so cool. Yes, grounding, definitely, right? Right. Yeah. I'm going to the beach to get some electrons, honey. Yes, we get electrons from the beach. Okay. Negative electrons, I think. Ions. Ions? Oh. What is the difference between an ion and an electron? Do you really want to know? Yes. I would say electrons are the clouds around an atom. Okay. And they have a negative charge. Okay. Positive and neutral are in the core of an atom, right? Uh-huh. That's traditional physics, which is admittedly not only theoretical, but knowingly false. Yes. Okay. But still taught anyway. Okay. Just, I guess it helps think about it. I don't know why they would teach false teachings. Okay. And ions are free-floating, maybe electrons-ish, because they're also negative charged. They'll probably get bashed off the water when the wave crashes on the beach. That's my theory. It's as good as any. Okay. Let's go with that one then. What? Next. Okay, perfect. 4. Eating can be giving or taking away electrons. Not everything we eat is food. Some of the highly processed items we eat are very depleting of energy and fill us with, and some fill us with energy. So some foods fill us with energy, some of them deplete us of energy. I think we're all aware and cognizant of that process because, we get done eating sometimes. It's like... Take a nap? Take a nap. No, not that. I don't know. No, sometimes we eat and we can't finish eating because we're just still hungry. And it's because we haven't had any nourishment, we haven't had any food. Or electrons we can absorb is just filler product. That needs... energy. Processed, and we're processing, but less in than out. Yes. Yeah. Or too much in that's not usable has to be stored, which means more energy to make it. Yeah, and then some food is like readily, finally available. Like when we're breathing our hydrogen
Brown's gas.
Yes, from
That's a bit of a bit of food that's all contributive.
Yes.
Of electrons.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. We might be talking, as I say, out of. No, I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
We might be making things up, but I think breathing hydrogen, Brown's gas,
nourishment.
Is food. It's just we're breathing
food.
our food.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It definitely is food. 5.
Endorphins,
laughter, exercising, ways in which we can generate electrons with our own bodies.
Yep. Although when I exercise, I do feel tired.
But is it a good tired or a bad tired?
It's usually a good tired.
There's a difference. Everybody knows the difference between a good tired and a bad tired.
It's funny, right?
Yeah.
And yeah.
Because when I exercise, like really good exercise, like nice, like pleasant exercise, I feel tired, but I also feel like full, satisfied and full and like full. And when I feel tired from depletion, it's a very different tired. It's like I need something, like drink water, eat food, do something, It's like not good. And often when you're like that tired, you can't even sleep.
Yeah.
It's like not good. But yeah, did you know that endorphins give you energy? And also laughter. If you laugh, you get full of energy.
I was thinking about this is something that we listened to and heard, and actually our friend was here last week, Todd, and he was showing me and some of our friends about how to do that cold water therapy, cold shower thing, and they're talking about taking a cold shower and it sucks. Remember that podcast?
Yeah.
It sucks, but I'll do it for 2 minutes, so it's okay if it sucks for 2 minutes. So feel charged after, right?
Yeah.
Todd was showing a way to do the cold immersive thing, but without having it be a negative shock to your body.
Right.
So you just put your arms and your
cold water
and your arms, forearms, wrists, and hand into the cold water.
Yeah.
And then try to do it for about a minute.
Yeah.
Or just see how long you can get. Yeah. And the next day do that again.
2 minutes.
How long it goes. Try and get it more and more. And after some period of time, he said take about a week. After a week, the rest of your body craves to have some of it too.
Yeah.
So that's
really
nice
good.
system.
We have to try that.
We probably will give it a try. Because I'm pretty sure we're not going to try jumping in a cold shower.
We're not going to do that.
We'll talk about it and say, yeah, that's probably good. But even the Navy SEAL guys were saying, like, that sucks, but it sucks good.
Yeah,
no, not doing it.
I've tried it in the past and I did not like it.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Okay, 6. EMF, microwaves and radio waves for electron rubbers. The mechanics behind how these take away our electrons is not that complicated. These technologies are harmful because of the chaos they create in the environment when the waves clash with each other or crush into us.
Right, we've talked about this a little bit before in the sense that, we live in an EMF-rich environment. Ours is more EMF less than I think some people who live in cities, for example, or with lots of EMF emitters everywhere, like smart apartments and smart buildings and all the smart stuff.
Yeah.
Smart cars and smart
fridges and washing machines and meters, smart meters, and
Right, and those are a frequency different than the planet, which is the one that puts electrons on us. And so because it's different, somehow or other, our bodies respond differently to it, right? Mm-hmm. And I think we talked about at some point, how can we create a way that absorbs these EMFs and retransmits them in a healthy way that adds electrons? We haven't figured that out yet. Yeah. But having awareness of it means that you compensate for it, at least in jumping into like grounding or some feng shui with your house, some way of adding electrons.
Yes.
So there are going to be some that get sucked away, but you know that's happening, so you fix it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear your dog singing.
They got upset about that whole idea. All the EMFs in the house.
What's going on, baby? Oh my goodness. No, she looks giant. Look.
Yeah.
Look how big she looks. She looks as big as me. And she's not.
The size of your
She really
pinkies.
isn't.
She's a teensy little girl.
Yeah.
That's very strange. Girls. So they're teasing Missy.
Oh.
Because she's not letting them buy, so they're like, let us buy. And she's like, no. She's like, we want to go buy. She says, no. Please, please, please. Okay.
Look how big she looks. She looks enormous. You're not enormous, you're tiny.
Okay. The clothes you wear.
Okay, 7. The clothes we wear, which can give or take away electrons, mostly if you stick to natural fibers. Most clothes are supportive of our electron field. Organic cotton and silk seem to be the most supportive. Some artificial fabrics can be supportive, but most are not.
There are some, that you just know it. I think this is one of those body things. You put it on and see how your body responds.
Yeah.
I wonder about amber. We learned about a new thing, amber collars for our cats to make the fleas not want to stay on them because that builds a charge, electric charge. Do you think that's kind of the same?
We bought some and we haven't received them yet.
We're going to experiment.
And we're going to try them out because they create allegedly an electrical field, which to me is kind of a little...
Maybe good, maybe not. We don't know.
Dodgy, it's like electrical fields for a physical body. I mean, we are an electrical field, so what is this other electrical field going to do? I'm not sure how that's going to go. I'm not sure if it works with fleas even. So, and what's going to do to the pet, So, yeah, it's an experiment. We like to look at experiments. And it most certainly, I think, is probably healthier than the very poisonous collars and sprays that you toxify the pet with these sprays and collars and things.
Yeah, Pipi's not a big fan of the natural even.
No, she doesn't
the
like
natural oils and whatnot.
And the fleas don't seem to care that she has it on. Then the cedar ones, the natural oils.
Yeah, they only barely care. I mean, maybe it's kind of hard to prove that they don't care because maybe they should have 10 fleas instead of 2.
Maybe.
But all in all, it might be fun. We're just experimenting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The same with clothes, And there is like a lot of schools of thought and religions which use white cotton around the head to go into altered states, meditative states and things. And even up to historically quite recently, in church, women were supposed to cover their heads, in Catholic Church at least, and they were supposed to cover their heads with lace. And when looking back at the energetic part of it, it felt like, and I have tried, I remember once we did an event and we gave everybody like a big square of cotton for them to cover their heads and their upper bodies during the meditations. I wanted to test it out and see, does it work, because I liked it personally. I thought it was conducive to going into an altered state. I don't know if it was because of the ritual of putting it on or whether it's literally to do with electrons and this natural fiber, the cotton fibers and the color being conducive to that. And many people decided that yes, they would take one of the blankets and put it around themselves. And some of them loved it so much they took the blankets home. Right? Obviously they asked first. And then some others it didn't do anything for me. Right? So it's very much like you said, you put it on your body and your body knows. Your body can tell what is supportive and what isn't supportive, for sure. And
it does seem religions are aware of energy, right?
Oh, definitely,
they're energy collecting and harvesting in some cases. And so they do have strict, in some cases very strict, in other cases, I don't know. I'm not a big religion expert type of thing, but I am aware that they had you can't wear this, or you can't wear these 2 clothes together, or you're supposed to wear...
Well, remember when we went to the Vatican? Remember when we went to the Vatican?
Yes, and the girls have to do this and that.
Women had to cover their shoulders and knees.
Right.
They couldn't have shoulders and knees or anything in between showing.
Right. And at the time you think of it, it's something about modesty, or it's something about this, but it's probably about energy.
Probably energy, yeah.
And I know the clothing restrictions are also probably about energy. It's these religions want their members to be energy full for the harvest, in a sense.
In a harvest, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing when you look at these things and then you look at the real reason and the pretend reason, and you say, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's called expansion of awareness.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so those are just a few of the examples that came up for me as I watched the little video. It is also fascinating to become aware of this aspect of life and feel into it for a while, whilst we are in time in our civilization when we have to give our bodies full support for a long and healthy high-frequency life. Becoming aware of this information can be another pillar in the structures we are creating for ourselves and others.
One thing we didn't mention in there that we heard a lot about this last drive was light in the sun. Mm-hmm. That's not one of our numbered letter items.
We didn't add it, but yeah.
I think we should.
We have talked about sunbathing and sun gazing. That's it. Sorry, sun gazing.
And exposure to the sunrise and the sunset, and exposure to the noonday suns and the energy that you receive from it. That's includes information and downloads. Mm-hmm. So that's probably an item that we should definitely include in the energy aspect, right? Yeah, for our lives, so for sure. And also flowing water like rivers. Right, we have we have lakes on there. And waterfalls. There's just something about them, like we seem to gravitate towards moving water and oceans, which is always moving, lakes that are also moving. And we seem to reject, know that it's not good for us to go near stagnant water. Right. It's a bit repulsive. Totally. So I think the point and purpose of this whole talking about it is, be aware that you need to keep your batteries charged. Yes. Yeah, whether you think of it electrons, you think of it as feng shui or qigong or tai chi, think about it going to the beach and putting your feet in the sand and grounding. You think about it sun gazing or being aware of the light, the sun, and its effect on your body. Yeah. And you're charging yourself up. Yeah, add it to your toolkit if you haven't. Or most people have already, but keep it conscious. Just and also be conscious of the things that take away that energy from you. Right, and when you're involved in the processes of having a lot of it depleted, emotional strains and works and lights and LEDs and these kind of things, just be sure to take the same time for this contributive ones. Take the dogs for a walk, and even if you don't have a dog, take your pretend dog for a walk to the beach. Yes. Right? Or your pretend cat. Imaginary cat. Or if you want to have, you could take this imaginary pet thing a little bit bigger. You could have a pet unicorn you're taking to the beach too. There you go. Yeah. Or, a pet dragon. Yes. You can take your pet dragon You can take your pet dragon for a walk. Yes, you can. Just use that for the excuse. Somebody says, what are you doing? It's like, hey, sorry, I got to stop. My dragon has to take a walk and go to the bathroom. Yes. So I'll be over here. Dragons like privacy, and they like, creeks and running water. They're fond of ponds and lakes, so that's where I'm going. I like it. Yeah, okay. Good job. Take your dragon for a walk. Let's take your dragon for a walk. The unicorn's pretty cool, too. I wouldn't mind. Not as cool as the dragon, though. I don't know. It's pretty close. I think if you take your unicorn for a walk, you probably have to go for a ride. Yes. Take my unicorn for a ride to the beach. Yeah. That's okay. Okay. That might be cooler than taking your dragon for a walk. So if you want to listen to the second part of this discussion, where we're going to go more into depth into everything with Ilia and Adelina, go to Subscribestar, right? We're going to have a link in the information part. And become a patron of the light. Here's a couple of light artists. Artists of the light. Artists of the light right here. And you can become a patron of the light by joining us in Subscribestar, getting the second hour as part of the deal, and classes every month, and amazing calls and Q&As and things like that. Super good. And if you're listening to this and you didn't realize it, you can read it. Yes, you can read it. Along with an essay. Yeah. An essay comes out once a month at Substack. Yes. You can subscribe to the actual newsletter that we base. Actually read it. And actually read it. And get the essay. Yes, once a month, there's an essay, long form. We don't usually podcast about it, but we might start. We might start. I think they would be really cool, actually. I think so. Yeah. It might be more than half an hour, which is what we are. More than half an hour. Yes. Okay, honey. We'll see you later. Alia and Adelina. Yes. Up. You're up. Is it time?